Hello, I'd like to talk a bit about your aspirations and desires in life. And I'd like to just reiterate a little story, which is quite interesting. The story starts off with a lecturer lecturing to his pupils the last day of term. And at the end he asks each one, what would you like to do? Where would you like to go? What would you like to happen? In the realms of possibility, nothing fantasy-wise. And he went around each one, and there were doctors and lawyers and artists and various other people. And he came to this young girl and he said, what would you like to do? And she said, I want to be rich and famous. He said, okay, that's fine, but how would you like to be rich and famous? Do you want to be a singer, an artist, a dancer, a doctor? What would you like? She said, I don't care, as long as I'm rich and famous. Okay, so he didn't labour on the point, and he thought, fine. So he went on and asked each individual person, and they all gave their story. And at the end of it all, he said, well, I wish you all the very best, and that's it. And so they all went, and it was the end of the semester, end of the break, and they went on their own way. And one morning he was having breakfast, reading the newspaper, and he saw a picture of this girl, and he thought, I recognise her. And yes, it was one of his students, it was the girl who wanted to be rich and famous. And underneath the story was the legend about how she came to be in the newspaper. She was going home one day, and she got hit by a juggernaut. The driver was a drunk driver, and she was dragged down the road, and she had her ribs broken, her legs, her arms, and her face was lacerated, everything. Anyway, she was patched up, taken to hospital, and there she was lying flat in a bed recuperating from this ordeal. And in the meantime, there'd been a settlement from the insurance company for her demise in life. Anyway, he went to see her, and there she smiled a little bit, and he said, well, you're now rich and famous, you're in every newspaper, it's a story, you've got $3 million settlement, is this what you wanted in life? And she said, no, but he said, you said you like to be rich and famous, and any conditions. And that is the situation in life. If we don't have any conditions to how we would like to attain something in life, the chances are life will take its own toll. It'll take us the way it wants to take us and not the way that we want to go. So we've got to be very, very careful. We've got to put conditions, and we've also got to put effort, and also we've got to put our own spirit into it, because if there isn't our own spirit in it, then it will not be our manifestation. It'll be a manifestation by default. And if it's a manifestation by default, then we'll lose the plot. It's something to think about.